Ladies and gentlemen, look around you. The world is filled with faces. Some kind, some cruel, and something else entirely. Some wear masks so well that you would swear they were angels. They speak with kindness, offer you help and promise loyalty, but deep down something is off. Something cold, something hungry. There are demons among us, no, not the ones with horns and tails from ancient myths. I speak of those who drain your soul, twist your thoughts, and leave you questioning your own sanity. They could be friends, lovers, even family. And the greatest danger? You might not even realize they are there until it's too late. Stay with me until the end, and I will tell you how to recognize them, how to protect yourself, and, if necessary, how to walk away before they consume you. The world is full of masks. Some are bright and welcoming, designed to draw you in, to make you feel safe, understood, even cherished. They belong to those who seem to say all the right things, who know exactly how to mirror your hopes, your fears, your dreams. And why wouldn't you believe them? They are friends, family, lovers. They are the ones who walk beside you, who call you by name, who promise to stand by your side. But behind some of these masks lies something else, something colder, something calculated, something that does not love you, but feeds on you. Not every demon announces itself with fury. Not every threat comes at you with fangs bared and fire in its breath. No, the most dangerous ones are patient. They are subtle. They do not force their way into your life. They are invited. They charm their way in. They learn your weaknesses, your wounds, your insecurities. And with time, they shape themselves into exactly what you need them to be. At first, they make you feel seen, as if you've found someone who understands you better than the rest of the world ever could. You confide in them, you trust them, you let your guard down, and the moment you do, they begin their work. It doesn't happen all at once, that would be too obvious. No, the shift is gradual. You begin to notice small things, a moment of coldness where warmth used to be, a passive-aggressive remark disguised as a joke, a look in their eyes that wasn't there before, and yet you dismiss it. Because how could someone who was once so kind, so generous, so caring, be anything other than genuine? You convince yourself that you're overthinking, that they had a bad day, that maybe, just maybe, it's your fault. This is how they work. They plant the seed of doubt in your mind, and soon you are the one watering it. But there is something deeper, something beyond words and actions. Because words can deceive, and actions can be rehearsed. But energy? Energy never lies. Have you ever been in a room with someone and felt an unexplainable weight pressing down on your chest? Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling drained, exhausted, as if something had been taken from you? Pay attention. Your body is speaking to you. It knows when something is off long before your mind catches up. There are people who lift you when they walk into a room, whose presence alone fills you with light. And then there are those who leave you feeling hollow, uncertain, lesser than you were before. The most dangerous of them do not even need to say much. It is in the way they look at you, in the pauses between their words, in the silence that lingers after they leave. It is in the way your stomach knots when you see their name on your phone, in the way your shoulders tense before you even realize why. And yet, you doubt yourself. You tell yourself you're imagining things, that there is no logical reason for the discomfort gnawing at you. But logic does not rule these matters. Instinct does. And your instinct has been warning you all along. These people do not need to raise their voices to control you. They do it in whispers. They do it with well-placed sighs, with carefully timed withdrawals of affection, with words wrapped in concern but laced with poison. I just worry about you. I only want what's best for you. Maybe you're just being too sensitive. Each phrase is a thread, and before you know it, they have woven a web around you. You begin to doubt yourself, to second-guess your feelings, to wonder if maybe they are right and you are the problem. And that is exactly where they want you. But if you step back, if you strip away the excuses, the justifications, the self-doubt, you will see the truth. They have been feeding off your energy. Slowly, methodically, they have been siphoning your confidence, your joy, your fire. Because that is what demons do. They do not seek your happiness. They seek your submission. They want to see how much of yourself you are willing to give up for them. And yet there is a way to see through them. The moment you stop listening to their words and start feeling their presence, you will know. You will recognize the shift in the air when they speak. You will notice how your body tightens when they are near. You will see how the light dims just a little when they enter the room. That is your warning. That is your truth. And the moment you recognize it, you have a choice. Not all demons need to be fought. Some must simply be seen for what they are, because once the illusion shatters, once you recognize them behind the mask, they lose their power. They thrive in the shadows, in your uncertainty, in your belief that they are something they are not. But when you see them, truly see them, they are left with nothing, because the one thing they cannot stand is being exposed. And so the question is no longer about them, it is about you. How long will you let them linger in your life? How long will you let them drain you before you finally say, enough? The moment you decide, truly decide, that you deserve more, that you will no longer entertain their presence, that you will no longer doubt the warnings within you, they will have no choice but to fade away, because they cannot survive where there is clarity. They cannot feed off a soul that refuses to be drained. So, listen to yourself. Trust what you feel before you trust what you hear. The truth is always there, waiting for you to see it. And once you do, nothing will ever be the same again. There are forces in this world that do not seek to harm you outright, but to own you. Not with chains, not with violence, but with something far more insidious: control. It starts subtly. A carefully placed word, a look that lingers just a moment too long, an expectation that was never spoken but always understood. They do not demand, they suggest. They do not force, they persuade. And before you know it, the lines between your thoughts and theirs begin to blur. It is easy to mistake manipulation for care. After all, it often comes wrapped in concern, in affection, in the guise of wisdom. I only want what's best for you. You wouldn't have made it this far without me. I just don't want to see you get hurt. The words are gentle, but the grip is tight. What begins as guidance soon becomes restriction. What once felt like love now feels like a leash. And yet, you hesitate, because these are not your enemies. These are the people you trust, the ones you have leaned on, the ones who have shaped your world. To question them is to question everything. But there comes a moment when you wake up and realize that you are no longer moving freely. Every choice you make is weighed against how they will react. Every dream you consider is measured by what they will allow. And so you shrink, you dull your edges, you become smaller, more manageable, easier to handle. And they reward you for it, with kindness, with approval, with just enough affection to keep you bound to them. The greatest trick a manipulator ever played was convincing you that your obedience was your own idea, that your limitations were self-imposed, that the voice in your head whispering doubt was your own and not one they planted there long ago. They do not need to break you. They only need to keep you questioning yourself long enough that you never try to break free. But there is a way to see them, a way to know without question whether the people around you are lifting you up or keeping you in place. Ask yourself this: when you succeed, when you take a step towards something greater, do they celebrate you or do they hesitate? Does their encouragement come without condition, or is there an edge to it, a hidden message, a subtle reminder of what you would be without them? Pay attention. True support is never laced with control. True love does not bind, it frees. There are those who do not wish to keep you small, but to see you fail. Not openly, not dramatically, but quietly, patiently, in ways that leave you doubting whether they ever wanted the best for you at all. They disguise their sabotage as concern. They plant seeds of hesitation in your mind and water them with feigned kindness. Are you sure that's the right move? I just don't want you to be disappointed. Maybe you should wait a little longer. Their words seem reasonable, even caring, but look closer. There is no real encouragement beneath them, no genuine desire to see you rise. There is only fear. Fear that you will grow beyond them, that you will leave them behind, that you will become something they cannot control. Watch how they react when you start winning. Not just in the moments where they are expected to be happy for you, but in the quiet moments, in the offhand comments, in the fleeting expressions they think you won't catch. Do their congratulations feel strained? Does their support seem reluctant? Do they suddenly find ways to distract you, to delay you, to pull you back into the comfort of mediocrity? Not all attacks come in the form of betrayal. Some come in the shape of gentle discouragement, of passive resistance, of whispers that make you hesitate just long enough to miss your moment. And then there are those who do not merely hold you back, but work silently and persistently to see you undone. They wear the face of friendship, of loyalty, but beneath it lies something else. Resentment, jealousy, a quiet satisfaction in your struggles. They are there when you stumble, ready with words of comfort that do not heal but reinforce your failure. They remind you of your mistakes, not to help you learn, but to keep you tethered to them. They offer solutions that lead nowhere, advice that clouds rather than clarifies. And all the while they smile, because as long as you remain lost, as long as you remain uncertain, they remain in control. So, what do you do? How do you protect yourself from those who wish to see you falter, from those who claim to love you but secretly thrive on your doubt? You sharpen your awareness. You learn to recognize the difference between guidance and control, between caution and sabotage, between true support and quiet resentment. You listen not just to the words they say, but to the energy behind them. And most importantly, you stop giving them permission to dictate the course of your life. The greatest act of defiance against those who seek to hold you back is to rise anyway, to walk forward, not in anger, not in vengeance, but in absolute certainty of who you are and where you are going. Because the moment you stop seeking their approval, the moment you stop waiting for their permission, their power over you vanishes. They cannot hold you in place if you refuse to stay. They cannot control you if you no longer respond to their game. And when they see that they can no longer reach you, that their words no longer weigh you down, that their quiet manipulations no longer keep you shackled, they will have no choice but to reveal themselves. And when they do, you will know without a doubt that they were never truly on your side. Because those who love you do not fear your success. Those who care for you do not shrink when you shine. So, take your steps boldly, let them whisper, let them hesitate, let them watch as you rise. And when they finally see that you are no longer within their grasp, you will not need to confront them, to fight them, to convince them of anything. You will simply keep moving forward, and they will be left behind, exactly where they always meant to keep you. There comes a moment when the illusion shatters, when the weight of manipulation, the quiet sabotage, the unspoken control becomes undeniable. When the words that once seemed caring now sound hollow, and the actions that once felt protective now feel like a cage. The moment you see it, truly see it, everything changes. Because now you have a choice. Some demons can be fought, some can be reasoned with, challenged, even redeemed, if they choose to be. But most do not seek redemption. They seek to hold you where you are, to keep you within their reach, to ensure that their influence remains intact. And so, you must decide, Will you confront them? Will you walk away? Or will you rise beyond them, untouched, untouchable? Awareness is the first step, but action is what sets you free. And action does not always mean war. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is remove yourself from their grasp, not with anger, not with vengeance, but with certainty. The certainty that you will no longer be controlled, that their words will no longer hold weight, that their approval, their validation, their presence is no longer required for you to move forward. There will be resistance. There will be moments when they try to pull you back, when they use every tool they have, guilt, shame, nostalgia, to make you doubt yourself. They will remind you of the past, of the good moments, of the times they were there for you, and they will make you question whether leaving is the right choice. That is their last trick, their final attempt to keep you within reach. Do not fall for it. True relationships do not require you to stay small. True love does not thrive on guilt. If someone only values you when you are under their control, then they never truly valued you at all. When you recognize this, when you accept it, you will no longer feel the need to explain yourself, to argue, to justify your departure. You will simply leave, not in weakness, but in strength. And once you do, something shifts. The weight that you have carried, the doubt, the fear, the invisible chains, begins to fall away, and in their place you begin to feel something else. A lightness, a power, a sense of self that had been buried beneath years of quiet submission. And now, without their voices clouding your mind, you begin to hear your own again. This is where true transformation begins, not in escaping them, but in reclaiming yourself. Because the greatest protection against manipulation, against control, against the demons that walk in disguise, is not just the ability to see them. It is the ability to strengthen yourself so completely that they can never reach you again. Strength is not about aggression. It is not about dominance. It is about certainty. The kind of certainty that does not waver in the face of doubt, that does not bend under the weight of someone else's opinion. When you know who you are, when you stand firmly in your own truth, no one can manipulate you. No one can twist your mind against you. No one can plant fear where confidence already grows. And that is the true goal. Not just to escape the demons around you, but to become untouchable by them. Because they will always exist. There will always be those who seek to control, to drain, to manipulate. But they will no longer see you as prey. They will no longer find a way in, because you will no longer carry the wounds that made you vulnerable to them in the first place. So, the question is not just who you need to walk away from, but who you need to become. Will you continue to seek validation from those who never truly valued you? Will you allow the past to define what you can be, or will you stand fully and completely in your own power? When you do, something remarkable happens. The world begins to shift around you. You no longer attract the same kind of people. You no longer tolerate the same kind of treatment. The energy you once gave away so freely is now protected, directed towards something greater. And those who once sought to drain you, to manipulate you, to keep you small, will either fall away or be forced to change, because they will see that you are no longer the person they once knew. You will not need to fight them. You will not need to prove anything. You will simply walk forward, unshaken, unstoppable. And that is what they fear most. Because demons do not fear confrontation. They fear irrelevance. They fear losing their grip. They fear the moment you realize that you never needed them at all. So, you stand tall. You do not shrink. Demons do not enter your life screaming and gnashing their teeth. No, they come with whispers, with charm, with the gentle touch of a friend who seems to understand you better than anyone else. But watch carefully. Their kindness has conditions. Their love feels like a contract. The moment you refuse to play their game, the mask slips. One day they adore you, the next they make you feel small. It is a slow poison, a silent war. They feed off your energy, your self-doubt, your pain. You must see them for what they are before they see how much they can take from you.